You go to the next slide, please. I included this slide, and I've kind of highlighted the part at the top in red. We get asked all the time, how does LAFCO evaluate a proposal? By what standards are you looking at a proposal? And so I included this excerpt, which is what we call the factors. And as it says, these are the factors that the LAFCO, the commission, is asked to consider when evaluating a proposal. If you go online to our website and look up previous agenda packages, you will see, at least in the time since I've been here, that all 16 of those factors are evaluated in every single proposal that comes before the commission. So you will see a section on comments from public agencies. Were there any comments from public agencies? And it'll be summarized. If there's a lot, we'll include copies. What are the existing land use, general plan, and zoning designations? So we address all of those on our report. And the factors also serve not just to guide us as staff, but also to guide the commissioners in their decision-making process. Next slide, please. This is just a quick slide on how Lafco is financed. And in essence, the county, the cities, and the independent special districts pay what are known as annual assessments to Lafco. They are paid in proportion to the number of their appointees to the commission. So because the County of Los Angeles appoints 5 members, they pay 5/13 of the assessment. They are the largest contribution. We also receive a small portion of our funds from filing fees on proposals. Next slide, please. Even though the Act, the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Act, governs most of what we do, we are subject to several other state laws, and they're highlighted here. The Revenue and Taxation Code governs how property taxes are reallocated in that process. We are subject to CEQA. I've already seen emails about that issue. Just about, I don't want to say everything, but almost everything that comes before our commission is defined as a project under the law and is subject to CEQA review. The Brown Act, which governs the posting of agendas and the availability of items, et cetera, as well as, I didn't have it here, but the Public Records Act, which essentially is that any documents that we have are available for the public. And finally, the Political Reform Act, which requires all of our commissioners as well as agency managers, which is myself and the Deputy Executive Officer, and our legal counsel, to file annual statements of economic impact, which I just filed, and it makes me so happy every year when that document comes around. But it also means we're subject to the practices and procedures of the Fair Political Practices Commission, or the FPPC. Next slide, please. LAFCO and transparency. I very much wanted to include this slide, having heard some feedback from previous meetings. Part of my job, part of what the commissioners have tasked me with doing is going out and speaking to the public about LAFCO. This is a unique meeting in the sense that I've been invited by these 2 agencies who are considering potentially filing something with us. But we also go out and speak to chambers of commerce, homeowners associations, town councils, boards of realtors, trying very much to get information out about LAFCO. Most people haven't heard of us until they're upset about an annexation. So the whole idea is to try to get information out so that people can hear that in the absence of having something right in front of them. We also come and meet with folks. People come and meet in our office in Pasadena quite often. We're more than willing to come out and meet locally to make it more convenient to people who want to meet with us. We field a lot of telephone and email inquiries. So that's a regular part of what I do, and I'm happy to do it. Monthly commission meetings, and I'll talk a little bit more about what happens at one of our commission meetings, as well as our website, and I'll have a little more details on those. Your next slide, please. Our monthly commission meetings, I deliberately use the words noticed, open, and public meetings, because that's very important. We do notice our meetings. They occur the regular meetings are on the 2nd Wednesday of the month in downtown Los Angeles at the Hall of Administration. They are open to the public, and the agenda package that we have available for them is usually available about 5 to 7 days ahead of it. What you will typically see on an agenda are public hearing items, proposed annexations or detachments, whatever the action may be. You'll see a map and a legal description. You'll see a proposed resolution for the commission to approve or deny, and the environmental document as well. Policy issues, if the commission is being asked to adopt a policy or an MOU with another public agency. Legislative update, keeping an eye on bills in Sacramento that impact Lafco, of which there are many. The minutes of the previous meeting. Most importantly, the check register. Every month on our consent agenda is a list of all the expenditures of Lafco in the previous month. So if you want to know how Lafco is spending its money, go to one of the 3 items under consent agenda, look up check register, and it'll be there in black and white. Status of pending applications, that's all proposals currently still pending before Lafco and what their status is. Periodically, some financial issues. We do an annual audit, we have an annual budget, those types of things, and public comment. We added about 2 years ago a special feature for those of you who need something to read to deal with the insomnia at night. You can actually get a monthly email alert that will say, hey, guess what? In fact, ours is probably going to go out Wednesday of this week that will say, guess what? The agenda for the April meeting is now available online. Click here and you will get a link to it. And we have, I want to say about 100 to 150 people who are on that, our own Lafco groupies list. The Lafco website, next slide please. That includes commission and staff information, biographies of all of our commissioners, information about how to contact us. Meeting agenda packages. So that complete package for every meeting agenda, you can go get them on our website all the way back to January of 2002. So if you're really dying to know what happened at the September 2006 Lafco meeting, you can go there, you will find the entire agenda package, and the next one after that you'll find the minutes. Copies of Lafco policies and MOUs, application forms, things like the actual forms and instructions. A map for each of the cities and each of the special districts that shows that agency's both jurisdictional boundary and the sphere of influence boundary. Frequently asked questions section, a glossary of Lafco terms, and some links to a county, city, and other special district websites. Go to the last slide. That's just my contact information. Again, there's a brochure in the back. Please take it. I think it's a good description of what Lafcos do. And my business cards are back there. You want to come meet with us, you want us to come out and meet with you. I'm happy to do it so long as Al promises not to yell at me. I might even come to his group. But this is regularly what we do. So we're happy to do it. And I did want to tell one story about that because I do think it's important. We have a very controversial annexation that City A has proposed and City B is not too happy about. And in the process of all of that, I have met with the mayor, city manager, and planning director in City A. I've met with the same folks in City B more than once. We started to get emails from various parties who were not particularly happy about the annexation. We reached out to them, asked a group of 5 or 6 of them to come in and talk to us. That's what we do. And the staff of both of those cities probably calls me at least once a week or once every 2 weeks to ask me a question. So that service is provided to anyone who asks. We're a public agency and we're more than happy to do it, and it's just a part and parcel of what we do every day. So again, I will be around for the duration of tonight's meeting, and I appreciate again your time. I hope that wasn't too long, and I hope everybody's still awake, and I plan to be here through the duration of tonight's meeting. Let me be clear what the law says. The question was, could you address the portion of the act that is specifically tailored to the Newhall County Water District? When Lafco makes a decision, when the commission acts, there is a period which must be at least 30 days. And during that 30 days, individual landowners or registered voters can file written protests with Lafco. So this is for any annexation, any decision that Lafco makes. And there are some thresholds. If, let's say the commission approved an annexation. If more than 50% of the landowners or registered voters file written protests, the decision of the commission is overturned. If 25 to 50% file requests, it then goes to a vote. So it is not an automatic vote. And that's the way it typically works anywhere in LA County. There's a special provision that was written into the law. I don't know the year it was written, but I'm very aware of the section. And it basically says those provisions as they relate to the Newhall County Water District, any proposed dissolution of the Newhall County Water District, that threshold is now 10%. So if more than 10% of the registered voters or more than 10% of the landowners file written protests, it would then go to an election. I don't pass judgment on the law in either case. I like to tell people my job is to administer the law. If you don't like the way that's written in the act, go complain to Sacramento. We do all the time. So that is essentially the way that process works.